You're muted, Stefan. We don't hear the music.
Pardon me?
You're muted. We did not hear the music.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
We don't hear the music.
Pardon me? 1 second. Man, technical difficulties already. I'm supposed to be presenting also. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, present everyone again. And you couldn't hear it?
No. Your mic was muted.
All right, here goes again. Sorry, folks. Well, welcome to the Flat Pill, another episode. This is episode number 6, and tonight we're going to be concentrating on the police state. Welcome, Paula, Knowledge Scavenger.
Thank you. And Jippy will be along later, perhaps. We're not sure, but we'll just try and do what we can in the meantime.
We'll stay tuned. Yep, we got some interesting news tonight, which is sure to shock. And sure to maybe not shock so many, because I think we're starting to get used to this kind of news. But this one is actually a real kicker. Do you want to save that for a little bit later so that we can keep the suspense going? Or
sure, why not? Make everyone suffer. Why should I just suffer?
You know what? We'll hope Jimmy joins in, and as soon as he hops in, so guys, hassle him. Go and hassle him. Tell him you want to know the news, so he's got to join. I'm just kidding. It won't be long. We'll bring it out. You said you had something interesting to bring up. I had some good little topics, good little points to talk about.
Some police state definitions. It is Wikipedia, but what can you do? It's handy, and it's probably not too far off. I'm not sure if everyone's seeing my screen. Are they seeing it? Yes, they are, it looks like. Okay, what we have here is just the standard definition that a term denoting government that exercises power arbitrarily through the power of the police force. Originally designated a state regulated by civil administration, but since the beginning of the 20th century, the term has taken on an emotional and derogatory meaning by describing an undesirable state of living characterized by the overbearing presence of the civil authorities. I think we really got that in the whole Western world pretty much right now.
Yes.
The inhabitants of a police state may experience restrictions on their mobility, on their freedom to express or communicate political or other views, which are subject to police monitoring or enforcement. Political control may be exerted by means of a secret police force, which operates outside the boundaries normally imposed by a constitutional state, such as the NSA, for example. And who cares about the history of the usage, but
well, it's interesting that this is the actual Wikipedia definition.
Yeah, they're just coming right out and pretty much describing our world.
Yeah. Just taking here, for example, one little small example, and I think it's St. Hubert, Quebec, or Chambly. I'm not sure which one it is, but they passed a bylaw, because they're all bylaws, they're just statutes, stating that if you actually have any kind of complaints to do about the government, you shall not do it publicly or in any kind of fashion, like as to a protest, or you will be or could be imprisoned or fined, which is pretty interesting. And considering, like, a couple of years ago when they had the whole school strikes here, we had a big thing on the school strikes, students that anyway, let's just say they were protesting against the wrong, not strikes, protests, sorry about that, people, but they were protesting the wrong thing. But anyway, well, they actually came out with another bylaw saying that anybody over I think it was like 4 people together is considered a group or a gang and can be arrested and fined.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Am I being presented? I didn't see it while you were speaking.
Oh,
there we go.
okay.
Okay. An electronic police state is one in which the government aggressively uses electronic technologies to record, organize, search, and distribute forensic evidence against its citizens. Nobody doubts that. And it's pretty much worldwide, because even other countries have complained about U.S. spying in their countries. So there's that. And let's see, we have fictional police states such as Orwell's 1984. But yeah, this is they're quickie little definitions that are pretty much describing our world. So there's no doubt really that we are in a police state. It's just not as visible as it used to be in the past. It's more electronic now, where you don't see necessarily goose-stepping soldiers on the streets right now, but they have enough electronic surveillance that they really don't need to parade around like that. So
yeah, that's the whole point here. That's another good point right there. See, they're trying to, in the media and in the, especially entertainment, what they're trying to push is we're waiting for like this big thing to happen, like an obvious event. I don't think it's going to come that way, because as soon as you get one of those, you got the smart people are going to be like, oh, shoot, I'm not sticking around for that one, you know? They're going to be aware, and those are the ones they want, so they're going to have to surprise attack in a certain sense, if it gets to that point. And like you're saying, though, if they do it through a surveillance type situation, well, they'll do it, they'll sneak right in. They'll either set you up, or they'll infiltrate, or they'll coerce or something, you know?
yeah, and it's just like with welfare. It used to be we would see soup lines like in the Depression, where people will, were visibly waiting in line to get their food. But now it's with food stamps or EBT cards. We don't see the people who are on government assistance. So it's the same thing with the police state. They have learned not to make it so visible, so everybody thinks it's okay as long as, they have their food and a place to live. They don't see the police state either. They don't care. They're on social media. They're staring at their phones. And so they're being surveilled just more heavily than any regime in the past. And yet, no, they're not aware of it. And that's the perfect slave state, the perfect prison, where they can pretty much control your reality electronically and make you so afraid you won't leave your house. So you are your own prison guard.
And in turn, having a second effect, well, actually, it's got 3 different effects. If you consider, fear-based, yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to have trouble thinking properly, because you're going to be in constant fear, as opposed to rationally thinking. Not all of us, but most people in certain situations. And then you also have the electronic part of it, which is the waves, is all that. I'm not pretty sure. I'm actually 100% sure that they've known how to manipulate sound and vibrations for a long time, and any kind of radiation. And I'm thinking all these appliances that we're having around right now are all set to this some kind of frequencies as to alter our moods and our patterns. Because have you ever found yourself some days, like, you're actually good mood outside and everything, you go back in and whatever, a couple hours later you feel all depressed all of a sudden for no apparent reason, just like that, or irritable,
Yeah, I'm not so much myself personally, but I would have to pay more attention to that. A lot of people probably don't pay attention either. So it would be an interesting survey to take sometimes, ask people what they were doing when they felt depressed, if they felt depressed, or irritable or whatever it is.
Yeah, I find this happening a lot lately, especially lately. You get these like spurs, like these spurts where everybody seems to be like on the ball. Everybody's like gung ho, doing like these crazy long hours and whatever. This is like a couple months ago, and then whoops, it's totally the opposite. Then everybody gets all angry and all freaking weird, all emotional, me included, everybody around. And then whoops, you got the other phase. I'm trying to figure out: is it part of this? Could it be part of it? Sure, why not?
And there are times, especially when it comes to big false flags, where it seems like everybody is feeling the same emotions at once, and it may be just because of the false flags, but who knows? It could be a combination of microwave tower signals and whatever's on the news.
Exactly, to push that because we all know, obviously, well, we all know, hopefully we're starting to get to know that sound and vibration can react on your mood. Just take any sad song, you listen to that music, just the music, doesn't have to be singing, it doesn't have to be any kind of words to it, but it's an emotional song, like violins and all that stuff. You'll find yourself like feeling all like in a certain mood. You got other kind of music, it'll make you like all aggravated and all, or like some types of heavy metal chaotic music like that with a big bouncy beat, or you can have like the fun music, like the like the Caribbean type music, makes you want to dance, Jamaican stuff,
Right.
And they're just vibrations. That's all it is,
And it's not necessarily bad. You can, I found it helpful in the past, especially when I was a teenager, to play music that was matching my mood and then slowly change the music and the mood would go with it. So there's definitely something to that. And people use music all the time in sports stadiums, churches, all sorts of things where they'll use music in restaurants. If they want to hurry the crowd along, because it's rush hour and they want to get more people through, they'll play fast, upbeat music. Yep. And later, if it's slow, they play the real easy listening stuff. So that's definitely true.
Yep. And they don't have to use music and songs to make you to influence you. That's the whole point here. They're doing it through the waves, because your body still receives the waves no matter what, even if your ears don't hear it. See, that goes in with that whole directional sound gun that they have now. You could be alone. You could be 1,000 people in the street, but your specific spot of like 2 feet by 2 feet, let's just say, you're the only one's gonna get that sound, because they can directly right at you. You would swear you're in a discotheque, but nobody around you can hear a thing.
Yeah,
and that's just like freaky. If they could do that, trust me, they could do a lot more.
And that can be done with light, too, being a vibration like everything else. Yeah. It's long been known that fluorescent lights in a workplace can really do bad things to the workers, not just because of the flicker rate that you don't really notice because it's too fast, but it's there, but because of the hum and the gases inside that fluoresce, neon and whatnot. And so it'd be interesting to see if they have done any extensive studies of how workers feel when they're under fluorescent lights as opposed to, say, LEDs or incandescents.
Yeah. And plus, you got these our monitors, like certain things, certain different video types will have different rates, different frequencies. You got the 50 HZ, the 60 HZ, you got better quality. Who's to say that high definition is actually not a higher vibration that's actually doing damage to you or something? We don't know. How do we know? It might be an even more hypnotic state. I'm telling you, why sometimes I haven't watched TV in like 14 years, let's just say. Like I sat down and watched a TV show or something. No, I just don't. I just haven't.
Yeah, all I know is if somebody has a TV on in another room and I'm not even watching, the sound just irritates me, and I put some music on or something on my headphones.
Yeah, but then I walk to the kitchen. My dad's watching the news or whatever. Then I walk back and I can see his face. I try to talk to him. Forget it. You almost gotta like push him just to make him like become aware of somebody's talking to him. But then you then you see his face turning back towards the TV, and it wow, you could see the hypnotic state there. It's weird. It's like I couldn't really notice it before. Well, you can sort of, but then you look at it, it's like he's got the weird smile on his face, and then serious, and smile. It's like he's really taking it in seriously, like just by that reaction, you could tell. It's like, okay, don't even try it. You can say anything in somebody in that position, and usually they won't hear a thing.
Right. I actually, in at least some ways that were more noticeable, the old TVs with the cathode ray tubes were worse because they had a hum, and they were, as opposed to LCDs and things like that, they were bombarding your eyes with electrons. That's why, that's what a cathode ray tube was, is you have these anodes or cathodes, I can't remember, that are shooting, I forget what frequency, it's been so long, toward the screen to make it fluoresce. And then that would, the screen didn't stop it necessarily. And after a while, people started putting supposedly screens that would block some of that. But there was a good reason there, the parents told their kids not to sit so close to the TV, because that radiation doesn't go for miles. But yeah,
I'm thinking they actually upped the ante since then, making us believe they actually took the bad technology away and give us better. I don't think so, because to be honest with you, for the past few years, I'd say around 5-6 years, maybe a little bit more, I've noticed one thing, especially if I'm looking at a computer screen a long time, and I have, then I'll try to do something else, and my eyes will be all freaking unfocused. I won't be able to. Everything will be blurry around, and it's like making my eyes worse.
Well, I think part of that is just staring at anything. We just stare at them a lot more than we used to. It could be that.
And here's another example of this. Before you go on, this will probably make you think before. Sorry about that. Let's just say I'm playing the guitar, or I'm concentrating on something without looking at the screen. I'm looking somewhere else. Okay, for a longer period of time. As soon as I turn my face towards the screen, the computer screen, which should be super crisp and sharp, it becomes blurry. Now, is it just my eyes, or could it be just the fact that the rate that it's at, it's doing something?
It could be. I can't say for sure. We'd need to know what frequency it's refreshing at. But here's the thing: is it's liquid crystals, and they don't irradiate. They just get opaque or not opaque.
Well, nah, that doesn't make sense, because why do I say this? If that was the case, if you turn off all the lights, you wouldn't be able to see reflection anywhere else apart from there. It is radiating. Radiation is the fact that it's emitting. And
well, there's the backlight.
So there's radiation that's going in your eye.
Yeah, there's the backlight.
See what I mean?
But the things you're seeing, I mean, it's just a white screen. If you just go to a blank page.
I think there might be more to look at this.
Well, that would be interesting to check out, yeah. But as far as I know, it's not. It's just light.
Because if you really think about it, since when did they release stuff to actually make it better for us? No, they're actually doing the opposite all the time. So why would we think they're actually taking away a bad technology, giving us something better as far as health-wise? That doesn't make sense to me.
We also have to consider that every company is not in on whatever nefarious plan, and not necessarily everything is.
Science is. Science. But science is. See, the corporations go along with the science. See what I mean? They don't go against the grain either. They can't. Because all those higher corporations, don't forget, they're all run by the higher ups. They get to dictate whatever through the patent offices and all this stuff. That's right. The whole point here. The whole manipulation system wouldn't work towards making it better for us. If anything, it's going to be a worse technology. So it might look better to us. That's what they're saying. That's what they're pushing. Like if they're pushing for a cashless society. Oh, the advantage is nobody can steal your cash. They have to have your PIN, blah, 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 blah. Showing you all the positives, like being chipped, whatever. They won't tell you the bad that goes with it. Of course not. So why would they tell you the bad about this? I'm just saying I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's really something that we should look at.
Well, that's the thing. We shouldn't just presume they're guilty and then find out if they're innocent or not. I think we should just presume nothing, be neutral and say, does this technology have the capability of doing anything bad to us by itself? Regardless, what I think would happen more likely is that mainly it's a surveillance tool, the computer, and that there might be some other Bluetooth or other radio frequency thing going on, not necessarily coming through the screen. So, but I remember the blurry old screens and the early CRTs for computer monitors, and they were way worse, in my opinion, as far as your eyes go, because they were not sharp. And when something's not sharp, your eyes have to continually work to try to sharpen it. They do that whether you're aware of it or not. And so then you can get a lot of fatigue from that. Now, whether that was, physically, it might have been, it wasn't certainly, well, we don't even know if the old technology wasn't for the purpose of making us all nearsighted, We don't know that either, that the old technology wasn't having the same effect. But the point being, I don't, knowing enough of what I do about how CRTs work and how LCD screens work, I really don't see the LCDs as worse. What I do see is that the programming coming through the TV or the some kind of radio frequency, Wi-Fi and whatnot, would far supersede damage if somebody wanted to do damage than just the LCD screen. Just my opinion.
So that was just one part of it, guys. We also got now we got the CCTVs coming to a town near you. We have, God forbid, we have them all over the place starting now here, especially Montreal. They're starting. England being number one. That's where they tested it out mostly. You're lucky if you're in the rural areas. Just probably a little bit less there. But yeah, they're almost everywhere. You got any kind of public facility. Yeah, it's just one part.
And they, knowing that they hide cell towers and microwave towers in trees and church steeples and all sorts of things, who's to say they don't have the cameras hiding there too, Oh,
and another interesting thing I just thought about. This could be, I got to look into this. Man, I should have done my homework a little bit more, but it just popped in my head. Cell phones. Everybody's walking around with their cell phones and everything. Well, they have 2 cameras on those things now, right? One in the front, one in the back. And most of the people that are aware, they can actually access those whenever they want through their apps. A lot of the apps will ask you if you want to share this and that. Most people don't even read that. They just click yes, 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 yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So throughout that population of the mostly unaware, well, what's to say those other, those third parties that actually got access to your phone now and your camera and your mic and everything? Well, what if they're not just filming all over the place, making like walking around CCTVs? Sure. Why not? That's a perfect way. And plus, you can get inside people's homes this way. You can get people's conversations, private conversations. You can actually get things going down and things going on. You know what I mean? You got that whole aspect of it. And people aren't really thinking about that. They'll stick their phone down and they'll do whatever. Hey, what's this? Or you got those cradles that are actually like directed towards wherever.
Right, they have them standing up.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the times I'll try to block my cameras as much as I can if I'm not using them, because I am aware that they can use them if they want to. And what's to say if I'm changing or something? It's not that I have something to hide, but I don't want my what do you call my junk to be all over the place,
Right.
That's just one little tiny aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they have technology supposedly that will X-ray right through your walls of your house. So even if you didn't have a cell phone, they could still look inside.
Yep, that too. Well, at least they could see the movement and that kind of stuff. They can't really see details, but
as far as we know,
as far as we know, exactly what they're saying and what they actually have is.
Yeah, we don't know. It's just like the other day we mentioned. I forget how many $1 trillion that just the U.S. Army misplaced. They're evidently they needed some more new Black Ops upgrades.
Yes, that's a good point right there. Every time that's another thing. If we look at our past, and this happened more than once, every time money mysteriously disappears, what happens right after?
Mm-hmm.
Usually
false
some
flag.
kind of false flag, some kind of hoax, some kind of.
Yeah, we only had one section of the Pentagon taken out on 9/11. Maybe there's another section going to get taken out. Because you'd think this is military budget they got to hide. So, yeah. Oh, and also there's the theory that the coils in the springs of a mattress would pick up and magnify possibly Wi-Fi signals while you sleep.
Sorry, excuse me. Say that again.
The coils in a mattress, the metal coils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have to be, ideally, they would have to be made of copper, but copper being such a soft metal, it wouldn't really be practical. Or they could be coated with copper. That would be a different story. See,
They
copper,
really wouldn't.
well, copper tends to disperse
Yeah,
waves as opposed to accepting them.
yeah. I'm not. I didn't look into what they were made of, but they would have to be very strong. But still, it's just the shape of it, and it is a wire. Granted, yeah, it wouldn't be the most ideal conductor, but I don't know if it has to be when we're talking about microwaves. It's a little bit different animal.
No, see, the copper is actually a reverse conductor. It doesn't conduct at all. It actually well, it conducts. You can actually pass wire through it. Yeah, like the current through. That's not what I mean. But it repels waves.
It depends on the shape, actually.
Yeah.
The reason they twist wires in any kind of cable is to try to cancel out the magnetic fields that form when you have electrons moving through the wire. So if it's twisted, yeah, it would resist. But if it's not twisted, it wouldn't.
So
So
hi, Shra. Yeah, I just checked the email. Who's can't remember the name was.
I think it was Ishra who said that.
Yeah, who's RD1?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking him.
Oh.
He told me to go check my email right now. Stefan, go check your Gmail and share what? Oh, because I'm checking. I don't see anything apart from 2 people that just subscribed to me.
Awesome.
Oh, here we go. I just open link in new tab. Okay, nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. Here we go. Here, we got it right here, my friends. Okay, I'm gonna share this.
All right.
Let me do a share screen. Thank you, Ishra. And I am going to read it. Is everybody getting this?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Let me just shrink this down so I could actually get the whole thing in there. Bon. Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. Abstract. Physiological effects have been observed in a human subject in response to stimulation of the skin with weak electromagnetic fields that are pulsed with certain frequencies near half hertz or 2.4 hertz, such as to excite a sensory resonance. Many computer monitors and TV tubes, when displaying pulsed images, emit pulsed electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes to cause such excitation. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system of a subject by pulsing images displayed on a nearby computer monitor or TV set. For the latter, the image pulsing may be embedded in the program material, or it may be overlaid by modulating a video stream, either as an RF signal or a video signal. The image displayed on a computer monitor may be pulsed effectively by a simple computer program. For certain monitors, pulsed electromagnetic fields capable of exciting sensory resonances in nearby subjects may be generated even as the displayed images are pulsed with subliminal intensity.
Now, this is from 13 years ago.
Yes, I just seen that also.
Yeah, and it looks like then the illustration, I can hardly see it. It looks like a CRT.
Yes, it does. But here's the point here, though. The flicker rate does not matter how it actually reaches your eye. The flicker rate is the flicker rate. Okay? Doesn't matter how it reaches your eye. Okay? It
Right.
can still have an effect on you. Is probably a little bit to actually elaborate a little bit more on this. Okay, which I'm gonna actually have to look up right this second.
Yeah, I'm looking up LCD screens and flicker rate.
Yeah, but look, but you have to ask it for like the hoax part of it, because otherwise they'll just show you all the mainstream part of it. You have to look, make sure somebody's got like an objective view on it, which is kind of hard to do. I know. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, the dangers. Let me see the dangers of LCD and LED.
Ah, here we go. Let's see. It's variable. Let's see, refresh rates. You can control that on your computer, but it does. So apparently there's not a set standard. You can vary that on an LCD screen.
See, there we go. I knew it.
Yeah, it's the refresh rate. What's that?
I knew it. Same kind of place. It's actually the same thing, but this one's from 2014. Which is a lot better. Same difference. Here we go. Photography or photobiomodulation process employing the application of electromagnetic radiation, EMR, to a living organism, what we were just talking about. Typically a human being, the EMR is generated by one or more strings of LEDs, which is what we got nowadays, LEDs, LCDs.
Or LCDs. They're different, but what? Go on.
Yeah, anyway. And is programmed to emit one or more wavelengths. Typically in the invisible and infrared portions of the spectrum, the EMR in each wavelength being delivered in pulses having specified on times, off times, photoexcitation frequencies, duty factors, phase delays, and power amplitudes. A system for providing such EMR includes a microcontroller having a pattern library of algorithms, each of which defines a particular sequence of synthesized pulses. See what I mean? The manipulation is right there. And an application pad, preferably flexible, containing the LED strings. All right? And we got the diagram right here. Description. In other words, they can do the same process. This is what I was saying before. A wave is a wave. A flash is a flash. It could be done. If they know the right algorithm, they know the right program to do it. What's to say they're not doing it? Of course they can.
Were they talking about the non-visible spectrum there?
That too, because you see the monitor could actually throw off these infrared frequencies that we can't see. It could throw off a lot more than we can see, and we can't.
Well, we do have the remote control thing, but that's but yeah, other than that though, the screen itself, I'm not sure that it could emit the thing unless by a different well, I'm asking about the frequency, if it's in the visible spectrum or not, because it wouldn't be what you're visibly seeing that's having the effect on you. You know, it would be in the invisible spectrum, right? Is that what it's saying? It's kind of blurry. I can't see.
They're actually saying both. They're actually saying they could emit as far as wavelengths are concerned and the different flashes to your eyes. We just can't you can't notice them. Because at a certain refresh rate, your eyes are tricked already. Just a good example with Liney when we were creating those GIFs. He said with just 3 or 4 frames, you could actually make something look like it's continuously super flowing right, when actually it's only 3 different poses, which would which wouldn't be fluid at all if you consider but you can manipulate it. Here's the point: they can manipulate these images. And if you're considering all, I don't know how many hundreds of video types there is. There's there's only a few that people are using right now, but there's wow, it's nonstop. I think it's somewhere over 100 last time I checked, which is a couple of years ago. Maybe that fell to the wayside, but they were actually created. They're out there. And what's to say some of them were created with this purpose in mind, and they're just not available to us directly. And are being used.
Right, but you can still change the refresh rate. You know, whatever they might set it to, you can change it in your computer.
That's what. Sure, but that's what. All right. Yes, you can. Or what if you can't change the program that they're sending you anyway? See, that's my point. What if that program reads what refresh rate you're at? Because all computers read say you got a game you want to play. Well, you can play the different resolutions, so your computer will read at what resolution that game wants, and it'll put it there. That game will know that that monitor works at 60 HZs, so it won't set it at 80. It'll program itself to work at 60. You know, that's what I'm saying. Though it's all programmable. You can make it do anything you want with the computer. That's the whole thing with a computer. You can make it do basically anything you want, apart from moving.
Right, but I think it would be for us to prove that they would override our setting on a refresh rate. I'm not sure how they would do that, but I mean, it's possible, but I'm not. We need to show that they are. You know what I'm saying?
Every single video game does that. they'll make it the best that as long as you're putting it in there, you say you want a certain resolution, or say it comes with a native resolution and it's lower than what you actually have it set at. Well, what's it going to do? It's going to put it to that refresh rate that it needs to operate at.
Well,
So your
it'll
computer
do
screen will change. Your resolution will change by itself. You didn't have to touch nothing.
right,
That program did it for you.
but not all
what I'm
computer screens are going to have the same optimal rate. It'll be according to whatever kind of screen you got, and the
Yeah,
game
yeah,
will
yeah.
try to read what
That's-
type you have and
Okay.
match it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know, but that's not my point though. My point is they can do it. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's the only point I'm trying to make, is that they can do it.
Right, and
Got it.
and all I'm saying is that it's when it comes to refresh rate, we can override it if we want to.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the solution part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
we're aware that they can do this and they're doing it. Sure, we can go and probably manipulate it ourselves,
right.
but we don't know. Well, I could say I know that they're doing it. Where, I don't know. How, with which technology exactly, where to go to get this, or are they doing it like right in the browsers, or is it just the programs, or is it just certain few programs? Who knows? They've already admitted that they're spying on you through the TVs now. Why? Because they're interactive TV, the smart TVs. They ask you, I think it's in the manual, that the camera's on. It's even written in there that be careful because that camera's on.
Right, but why, if they could spy on you without the camera, I'm not sure why they would need one. If they're just doing it through the screen or whatnot.
No, through the screen. I'm not saying they're photographing anybody. No, I hope that you're not thinking that, because I didn't say that at all.
Well, no,
What I'm
I mean,
saying
they
is
could.
they could flash your eyes to a certain way, like fluorescent does. That certain flicker rate can manipulate you, like they're saying right here. That wavelength will affect you the way you're seeing it, which makes super sense. Super sense. All right, next aspect of the police state. Let's go back to Wikipedia. Oh wait, does anybody have anything to say on that? Anybody talking in the chat, really? Oh, okay. He wants a link.
I got it to him. I got it.
Okay. And now we can come out with the big news, man. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a special announcement.
Oh yeah, this is gonna make people talk like a crazy, my friend.
So let's make sure he gets in here. It probably takes a little bit for the email to get there.
This is gonna be a killer. Well, I hope nobody's aware of it. I'm no help. It's something that everybody's already known about, but I haven't heard anybody saying it. So, and you would think they'd be talking about this all day, nonstop.
Well, we'll find out.
Oh yeah, see, I'm more drama.
Now, where's Drama Llama when we need him?
Yeah. 712. What you doing there, Drama Llama? Are you at work? Are you working on saws or?
I forget what he said he was up to lately.
Jibby is weird like me, whispers, but I lost the sound. Yep, bubbles. Jibby. It works perfect now. Yay.
Well, let's see. What else can we talk about until then? Let's see. Police state. Have we mentioned enough of the fact that it is in so many different ways, and then maybe after the big announcement thing, we can go on to what would be a good replacement for such a thing,
What was I hearing before? Here's another part of the police state. Not just police state, but the control part of it, okay, which is part of the police state, you could say. But what do they got people doing now? Since they got to fill up these jails, and they got these debtors' prisons, which technically they existed for a long time. They just haven't really put them into practice for a while. Okay, it's like when you owe just money, just plain old money, well, they can stick you in these debtors' jails, debtors' prisons. All right?
Hey, there's Jibby.
Yeah. So
Hello.
what are they doing now? And I think if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around Cincinnati, I think it was Cincinnati or Pittsburgh, somebody was saying, don't quote me on that. I know it's in the state somewhere, but they're starting to come down on people. If they have a broken window or something, they can get these fines, especially in the poorer neighborhoods. If their trash cans or something with them, or stuff like that, their grass is too high, or
Yeah.
for watering the lawn on the wrong day or stuff like that. They're actually doing that here, by the way. You can't water. Sometimes they'll say you can't water your lawn on this day, that day, and whatever, this and that. And if you don't do it, well, you'll get that fine. And obviously, if you don't pay, you'll go to that prison.
Yeah, and unlike debtors' prisons of the past, it isn't necessarily true. Most people, it's like they don't live within their means, but it isn't necessarily every case anymore because half the time the government robs you, the IRS robs you, the cops rob you, whatever, and you're poor because of circumstances beyond your control, and if you have debt any more, people, they take your house away or whatever they do, they'll take your stuff before they would put you in prison. But yeah, that's a really disturbing development.
Okay, wait. Okay, now I got the news. Jibby, anything to say before I bring up this incredible, crazy news?
You guys are not on camera?
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We just didn't feel like it today.
Ah.
It's not about us. It's about the info.
And that crazy fly.
And that crazy fly. Blah!
Oh.
What's that?
So I took my monthly bath for nothing, I guess. Okay.
You want us to go on camera? I can go on camera.
I
if
can
you
go on
Wash up
camera
the
if you
world
want.
order perfumes and deodorants for
All right, all right.
nobody's even on.
Hello,
All right.
everybody. How you doing today?
Hello.
Turn them off. Turn them off. Never mind.
Nice to meet you today, huh? Who wants to look at my ugly mug today, huh, Jemima?
I had to turn off my doggies for a minute. So.
I'll be sharing my screen in a second anyway, so.
Okay.
2B. Oh, we're 2. Oh, man, this is...
It just looks like kind of a bee, doesn't it? Your avatar.
I even kept, hey, Jibby, I even kept Paula guessing for what, a couple hours now?
Yeah, keeping me in suspense on whatever it is he's going to announce.
Oh, this is really crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Here it is right here. Let me put it there. And I'm just going to put... Just the title itself is crazy. I haven't really checked into it like 100%, but that's it. It seems to be this. This is what's going on. All right. Okay, share my screen. There you go, folks.
Pope Francis to proclaim Lucifer as God of one world religion on September 23rd.
923. All right. Is this a new 9231? Has this been vetted?
I don't know. I just heard about it just now.
I just heard about it today.
Did you vet it? Because what if this is just a hoax? And it's big news for hoax.
Please note this video is not meant to set a date. I can barely read that, but to point out
An
ecumenical gathering, one of the largest and longest between the three monotheist faiths, will happen from September 4th to the 23rd. This appears to coincide with the Arch of Triumph, which will be erected in New York City. Show more. From approximately September 11th to 25th. Oh man, I'm not reading all that.
I just got the news like a couple hours before, and I had stuff to do. I should have read up on it a little bit more, but just the title itself, like, it was like, whoa, man, freaky.
That's interesting. There's an awful lot of text for a hoax. Just my first impression.
Well, I kind of have I trust the person's opinion on who brought it to me, so of course we have to look into it, obviously. Due diligence. Friends, here is go ahead and talk amongst yourselves, and I'll read this. I'm actually going to take the 5 minutes to read it, see what I can get from it, okay?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go Googling.
Oh shoot, Nenki is just asked me to break the ice. I'm a live show.
Somebody wants you to do what?
Well, Nenki, his name is Nenki. French. He's really good. He's an
Okay.
Indian here on the reserve.
All right. I'm trying to find anything that would say that this is a hoax. It's taking forever for pages to come up right now. I'm blaming YouTube.
How about Google? What's the name
Well,
of
I
it?
can blame them for stuff too, but it must be YouTube's fault eating all my resources.
Pope Francis, Lucifer, September 23rd, I guess.
I can't get the page to load. Only the one I wanted to click on. I'll try a different one.
Pope Francis proclaimed Lucifer as God, and it's YouTube, and then Pope Francis claimed Lucifer as God. I see it on what?
What's that?
I'm looking. Flat Earth Bible. This is the second source off Google to be saying this. Flat Earth Bible? I've never heard of this.
No, me neither.
Okay. And that's showing the YouTube video. Okay, Pope Francis, false prophet and info. September 20th, Jesus' message. Pope Francis, false prophet, fulfill prophecy. Pope Francis claimed Lucifer, and this is a Gloria.tv. Okay. Godlike Productions, they have it. Lucifer is God, declared by Pope Francis, newguru.com. Somebody's Facebook.
Another article that I'm having trouble reading because they want me to click something and I don't want to click it, so it's kind of dark, but it says leaders from the Roman Catholic, Muslim, and Jewish communities will gather for one of the largest and longest interfaith services in world history, right in the old city of Jerusalem. Service will combine the three faiths under one house. One event will occur September 5 to 11, September 11, and bring all three in for at a passion for Jerusalem, in which they will coexist temporarily under the wings of the Almighty. Another from the 12th to the 23rd. Will perform an 11-day consecration, so they're doing some sort of ritual.
This is not good and may signal the beginning of the one world religion that Pope Francis has been working so hard to achieve in 2016. The Vatican is one of the chief proponents of the ecumenical movement around the world and in Israel for the past 3 years. Pope Francis has worked tirelessly toward a new world religion in which all denominations are brought together as one. If you look at Francis' outreach over the past 3 years, and specifically in 2016, you'll find somebody who has openly condemned evangelical Christianity and the belief that you must have a personal relationship with Jesus. In fact, Francis equated the spread of the gospel under evangelical Christianity to jihadism and called a personal relationship with Jesus dangerous. The extent of Francis' outreach to other denominations and religion in 2016 has been mind-boggling. In February, Francis held an emergency meeting with Patriarch Kirill of Russia for the first time since the 1054 schism. That means a year 1054. That's a long time ago. Francis has also reached out to Patriarch Bartholomew of Turkey, in which both leaders voiced support for migrants and called for more migrants to enter Europe in May. In May, Francis met with Al-Azhar of Egypt, who is the head of Sunni Islam, in January 2016. Oh, sorry about that. I'm reading it backwards. Putting the wrong punctuations in the wrong places. I'm putting the punctuations in the wrong place. No, you want to keep going? In January?
I'm just still, while I'm listening, looking around to see if anybody says, no, this is a hoax, but I haven't found anything so far.
Yeah, well, I'm finding quite a bit of last year. This was said. And September 23rd of 2015, the Pope met with Barack Obama at the White House. Of 2015.
Yeah, there was that too.
Everybody was saying, I can see, I'm going down the list here, 2015, 2015, 2015. So they were saying this last year, the year of opening the portal, the year of opening the portal of Lucifer, last year, this year, last year, this year, this. So, okay, it didn't happen last year, so it's going to happen this year. No, well, then it'll happen next year. That's what I'm seeing here. The year of Lucifer opening the door, September 13, 2015, fourth blood moon, blah, 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 Pope Francis to proclaim Lucifer. September 23rd, opening the door, 2015, the year of Lucifer, the year of the light. You know what? I think I'm going to relax that day.
Well, they're putting
But
it
if
in
you
our
want it
face.
to be true, okay. I'm scared.
It's just this is what they're trying to push out to the people. I think they're just going to try to see a reaction.
This is all crap news, too, reporting this. Like, crap news sites. I saw Reddit is the only one that's kind of heard of. The other ones are like,
Yeah.
Guru Fist Punchers Portal, or, weird things like that. The
Yeah.
Christian Fighters, and just, that's not real names. I'm just kind of, let's see, it's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
2015
Kinda.
is the majority of these coming up off Google. Oh, wait, Newton's calculations point to September 23rd, 2015, cover, blah, 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 Newton's calculation. Now, Newton's in on it, too. Man, this is so going to happen last year. Pope Francis proclaimed Lucifer as God 1 day ago. Oh, it's a blogspot site, so that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Roman
Before It's News had it.
well, God, I saw GLP had it. I didn't see Before It's News. But they have everything. They have candy canes coming out of Nibiru's asshole with Jesus threads there. They have everything.
And pine trees.
Which is, I guess, where turpentine comes from, and it's actually pretty good for you if done correctly. So that seems to be the opposite of what they told us, which is
yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna happen or anything, but or it might, but it's just interesting that they're actually talking in this kind of fashion. Like when he came out and said that aliens are no problem at all. Like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Who is talking? Did anybody really hear the Pope say, is this on tape? Otherwise, it's just people making wild bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
September 23rd, 2015, the year of Lucifer opening the door. Now, I'm already on page 7, and it's just loaded with this stuff, mostly from last year. Did I miss the ceremony? Did I miss the hell? Did we die? What happened? Like, these sites, they didn't take them down either. I can imagine how many were taken down going, oops, we were wrong, but a lot of these people kept them up. Maybe to show people, like, hey, look, I want to see Mars as big as the moon. That one's coming up soon, right? Because they haven't done that one in like 4 years. So that'll be coming up soon. They do that one every 4 years.
And supposedly a year from now is going to be an extraordinarily good solar eclipse.
Why is it good?
I don't know, just really, maybe it's more visible in North America or something? I don't know. I just happened to come across that today.
How Satan took over the churches. New World Order, Freemasonry. Now they're talking New World Order and Freemasonry on page 8. End of days. What is to come after September 23rd, 2015? Oh my God, 4 blood moons. Like
I got so tired of that blood moon stuff.
We were getting so smoked last year, and it never happened.
Yep.
But people acted like it did and got mad at you if you didn't believe it. And,
yep, I wasn't very popular then.
Why you were thinking it was coming?
No. I was like going, no. There's no blood moon prophecy.
Oh, then
Um,
you weren't popular on a website forum we're familiar with.
right. So we were talking about police state. I guess this sort of thing would kind of go into it with, um, just whether they're doing those sort of things behind the scenes for reals. With the
What's the
we already know that all the Catholic Church especially has openly stated their intention to bring all religions in under them.
Yeah.
So that's really nothing new. But I didn't see and even in those articles, I didn't see anything about invoking Lucifer or something. That part was kind of missing.
And my general rule of thumb is with big news like that, I tend to go minus 50, as in 50 years ago. That's when it was news. And it's almost like some kind of a legal thing. After 50 years, they have to finally release the truth or something like that. But we all go, oh my God, it's happening soon. It's like it happened a long time ago. So we should probably check certain areas of the Antarctic or the North Pole to look for giant goat hoof prints, because he might have came out 50 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
This place is certainly not run by anything I would give I would give a 5-star rating to on any website rater. But this is no, I don't. Like if he's coming, it could be an improvement the way I'm looking at it. Lucifer's coming. Well, all right. Let's see what he does. I want to hear his campaign promises. What's the difference?
Yeah. Anybody ever hear of the Gray State? The movie The Gray State? I have. I heard it was like it was doubtful. It was half right, half wrong, as usual.
Mrs. Doubtful instead of Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, I'm pulling up imagery. Just keep going. I want to share them in a little bit.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You had something?
No, I was just going to tell Jibby what we were talking about before, about the police state and all the ways that we're in a police state, and there's no doubt about it, anywhere pretty much in the world right now. And then we thought maybe we'd start talking about what we would replace it with for, say, we had a chance to start over with society, what kind of things to set up if we set anything up. And if we don't set anything up like a government, then what do we do about, protecting ourselves from aggressive people and that sort of thing?
Resource-based economy leads us right back to
ideally would be to revert back to the simplest form possible of living, but here's the big kicker, is that people are used to this kind of living, and they're not going to want to go back to living the other way, at least in the meantime. I'm not talking about like living as barbarians or anything, but I mean like to a simpler living.
Right. Everybody would have to learn how to at least garden, if not farm.
Yeah, stuff like that, Provide for yourself, start in that sense.
Right. But we wouldn't have to go completely back to having we don't have to forget everything that we have learned as far as better ways to do things, because not everything in the agrarian past was necessarily the best way to do it. But I think it would be good to pool our resources, and have communities. It's not like we all have to be completely self-sufficient. I think everybody benefits when they group together with people with a variety of skills. And when it comes to government, one idea is, instead of a government, how people would protect themselves would be to have them designate or hire out in some way, barter or whatever you want to call it, a group of people whose job is to protect the perimeter.
Yep.
And just have a contract with them, rather than see them as authorities, see them as hired hands.
Exactly. And you could do the same for the, like, say that we were talking about this before also, like, say just medicine. See, I think it's wrong to put money with medicine. Right there, you create a conflict right off the
Hmm.
bat. It shouldn't be about that. See, if anything, medicine should be free. It should be a free knowledge, but obviously you're gonna have some people that are better at it, or actually, that are, yeah, better at it and less queasy and stuff like that. And doctors, what it should be is, instead of, somebody brought this up once. Oh, they should probably live better because of this. No, not necessarily. They're not better than anybody else. It's just they got a certain skill set. Which I say, well, if they're trying to keep you healthy and they're keeping you healthy, well, then in turn, the patient or whoever is receiving, or the family of the patient, or whatever, should in turn give back to make that doctor healthy as far as food and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and it should be more of an Amish type situation also, as everybody gets a piece of land, same size, whatever, and you need a house, everybody gets together, they build you that house, and there you go. It doesn't cost you a penny. Everybody should have that beginning right off the bat. If anything, that should be the number one thing we should start with, you know?
And then we have to deal with people who won't cooperate and won't pull their fair share.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's no way to make everybody do what they can, then there's some people going to be sponging off others. And then the people who have the fruit of their labor taken from them and distributed to the lazy, they're not going to work hard anymore, and everybody suffers. That's been tried. I mean, early American history, that's been tried. But then the problem is, well, how do you ensure that everybody's doing what they can? How do you measure laziness in that scenario?
Well, so that's another good, very good question actually, and that's where schools come in for me anyway. The way I see it is that not all the kids are the same. Not all the kids have the same interests. Not all the kids are going to react the same to the different situations. So everything should be. It should be not a global type education system. It should be a one-on-one basis. So obviously in the village, say you're in a village, well, you got the ones that are better at manual type things. Or you got the ones that are better at whatever. And that's what, if you're close enough and people know enough of their neighbors and your own family, you should be able to observe what somebody's got to give, their best talent or their best ability. See, obviously mine is not speaking. I'm not the best at it. I'm doing it because I have to do it, But you know what I mean, right?
Right. And it was brought up in the chat about disabled people, and there's going to be people who can't do anything. For whatever reason, mentally, physically, whatever, they are essentially a drain on the community, and we have to have ways of
If you
caring
see
for
it as
them. Yeah.
yeah, you can't see it as a drain. You have to see it as, okay, they're handicapped, they have a certain situation, and
Can I get controls, please?
oh, sure.
He wants control.
Oh,
You know how I am too. I demand control. But that's enough of that.
there it is. You open this and this and close there. There we go.
All right, neuroreality. Okay.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
appropriate imagery.
Yeah, we got that happening here also, and I heard another good, interesting things. Is every bureau that gets proposed to have this kind of equipment, these and the tanks and the armored vehicles and whatnots, well, they have to actually sign some kind of, it's like a little program type thing. Especially here in Canada, it's called Maple Resolve. Is the ones that get this equipment, they have to put on drills, basically these drills that turn into non-drills. Yeah, and they have to do this, otherwise they don't get this equipment. And most of these cops, well, they want this fancy gear, They want to be like that
Right.
video game. They want to have all these cool, flashy things. Hey, look at me, I'm a,
I don't know any cops who play those video games. Scheme. Sure, whatever.
Well, number one, what's the number one video game online playing type game? Not the number one game itself, but what's usually played the most? War games.
Oh,
It's-
I mean, I see a lot of people who were just regular people like me before the Call of Duty series and hit, and then the expansions of that, and basically the online shooters, and like I probably a good 2 or 3 of my top 10 friends instantly became gun whores. This is the best word I can use to describe it. They gun whores.
Oh, hey, wait. Everybody in the
Everything
chat,
is
they're saying
done.
there's
Gun
no sound.
magazines and what?
We have no sound, supposedly.
What?
They're saying we have no sound.
I'm not seeing that right now. They said it earlier, and then they said, no, we can hear you.
Okay, let's ask again. Is...
Do we have sound? Can people hear me? I have to wait.
I guess we should talk after we ask that question.
sound.
Okay, Victoria hears us.
Okay.
So we didn't go silent?
No.
Who's saying we went silent?
Well, because I just got a thing from... Oh, sorry about that, guys. It's from Skype. It was a message from Skype. I guess they have no sound over there.
Oh.
Let me close the Skype down for you.
Well, it's good to check now and then anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to quit the Skype and I'll open it up after. That's just going to distract me for no reason. Sorry. Oh, it was Bubbles. Oh, there we go. Some more fancy costumes. Hey, Bubbles, that's a fun... You know what? You just reminded me of... there's actually a very famous Canadian cop called Bubbles. Look it up on YouTube. Canadian cop called Bubbles. And it's...
He blows bubbles in that woman's face. No, the woman blows bubbles in his face, and then he does something like he attacks her or something, arrests her,
doesn't
manhandles
attack her, but is pretty darn freaking intimidating towards her.
Yeah, I remember the bubbles thing. That was.
Yeah. And
that
nobody
was
liked him after that. He was the laughing stock. It's like, really? You're going to
But
consider that assault? A bubble touching you? Wow,
I mean,
man.
I don't know. I think in the the 1900s, like, this is when this gear was probably more prudent to wear versus now with just the tight everything on guns.
Yeah.
I mean, is this overkill?
I would say so, yes.
Well,
This is the gear they wear to, what, kick a door in because you didn't pay your student loan? Like,
Yeah.
what is this for?
yeah, this is actually the gear they show up at your door to tell you that somebody had an accident, you know?
Yeah,
They-
like, I mean,
They're
this
exaggerating,
is-
in other words, you know?
This is like gear to fight real life Transformers attacking Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, for real, like giant alien robots maybe. Like what are you going to do to the average person with this, or any average militia? Plus, how often do these guys use this stuff? Do they train regularly with it, or is it once a month, once every 6 months? I hear that we have these trainings now and then. They announce them, and every now and then one of those dates falls on a crisis actor event. So you can never pinpoint which one it's going to be.
It's never, you have to wonder sometimes if it's just to intimidate and keep us in terror, meaning they're terrorists, or is there also another thing that they're expecting to have to fight, like you were kind of hinting there?
You know what's funny here about this? It's just reminded me of something. We'll pull it up. It cracks me up because I just thought of it. No, of course, got to do Gmail.
It's actually multi-angled.
I want Google. How hard is it to go to Google?
It's there to intimidate. It's there to provoke. It's there to infuriate. Like, even if you don't show up in the street and you see these guys walking around acting the way they do, it's like,
Right.
wait a minute, what the hell are they doing walking around? And people, normal people, are like, well, yeah, that is kind of strange, But and I believe this firmly, is that right now, if you look at all the media, well, they're pushing us to be angry. They want the people that
Right.
are going to be angry to be angry. That's what they want.
And there's a so-called election coming up, too.
Yeah.
You got to be ready for that. Because we're
And-
going to riot no matter who it is.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to riot because I think rioting is
Right, I'm just saying.
stupidest thing to ever do. It's just feeding, like, just given right into their hands. There's nothing stupider than that as far as an action's concerned. Well, yeah, and that's what they're doing, man. They're amping it up. Sorry, Jibby?
The mask, it sort of looks like a lot of the old Cobra guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
from G.I. Joe. See?
And what do you think this guy's thinking, those two are thinking inside their helmets?
He's thinking, oh, we'll get those Joes. Cobra!
Like, who's gonna start some shit so I can actually use some of this stuff? You know? Arrgh.
Yeah, you don't dress up in a costume like that and not.
Us, we'll show them Destro. Yes, we'll show them Destro.
Like, how can you...
Commander, yes. That's what we're dealing with here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's actually a corporation.
Like, how can you speak through that thing? You know?
I bet they had training at fast food drive-throughs.
This little indoctrination training for us as kids,
Yes.
you know?
Just to prep us up.
Yeah, just to get us ready for, you never know. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun.
Yeah, most guys, the average bloke, which thinks the government's all, aces and everything, are going to see these guys in the street and they're going to be, oh, yeah, they're going to be rooting for them almost. Go ahead, kick their ass, Because people don't like each other anymore anyway. They don't like their neighbor. They don't care if the neighbor gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
They really don't care anymore. Oh, you're against the government? Oh, you are a terrorist, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to listen. They're all in that groupthink, that civilization I was talking about before.
That's like in chat they pointed out it does change you when you dress up like that.
Oh yeah.
You feel invincible, and so you're going to want to use. You'll be itching to use that
Look
equipment.
like a bunch of clowns in plastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we raided our parents' garage, and we're wearing a bunch of stuff we found at the garage. It's all plastic.
And it's not just the fact that you're wearing the suit, it's the fact that how people react to you when you're wearing the suit, and that's where it all comes from. Because the reaction of people, they actually look at you way differently when you're wearing, like, a suit and tie, or...
Yeah, they basically spelled the people to treat the uniform like it's enchanted.
Exactly.
They can beat you and spray you, but you can't touch them.
Yep, you can't do nothing, so you're powerless against...
Well, it's very intimidating, and then, you put it on, now you have kind of gain that power of that uniform. I mean, we've all experienced something similar, having to wear a certain uniform, whatever it is. Even if you put on a McDonald's uniform, you go, oh my God, I feel like a McDonald's worker. Isn't that amazing? Like,
yeah, that would actually depress me, having that dip.
And that's why they're so happy when you do go to the drive. Hi, can I help you? Yeah, it's going to be fine. Hi, thank you. Come again. Have a nice day. I'm just can't wait to get out of here, and then I'm gonna kill myself.
Come and see me at 3:30. I'll be slicing my throat.
I'm gonna say have a nice day 10,000 times in the next 8 hours. It's depressing. It really is.
And everybody inside that restaurant wants to kill that really bubbly one that shows up every once in a while, is all enthusiastic about being a McDonald's employee. Yay! They're like, oh.
I had to check into this myself because the rumors going around was Massachusetts banned certain assault rifles. And the news was the rumors and everything were making it sound so much worse than apparently what it is. And it's just a ban on copycat, previously banned assault rifles. Like faker versions, I guess you could say. That I guess one of them might be the SKS versus I've seen an SKS. I think those are illegal. And certain types have been illegal, I guess, in Massachusetts. So they do a ban on duplicates of banned weapons, and the rumor mill, like Lucifer's Gate and the Pope, they just take it and they make us look stupid if we don't vet these out. Because we're going to be like, hey, they banned assault rifles in Massachusetts. They did. Well, they've been some assault. They did. Well, they've been copycat assault. See, you got to look into it because people love the headlines. They
Yeah.
love the fear porn, the doom porn. Paula and I used to be part of a forum that thrives on doom porn. It doesn't matter if it's true. And if you say it's not true, any of it, they don't like you. It's like you're, Debbie Downer to them. They're the ones saying everybody's gonna die and die, and you're like, no, it's not. You're a Debbie Downer. Like, no, wait. But you're Debbie Downer to them because they thrive on
Yeah.
the doom.
Because their agenda's upside down.
A lot of people don't have an agenda; they're just messed up, and they thrive on the adrenaline of the doom, and that's messed up because that's not normal. That's the days of living in the jungle where you sleep in shifts and you're being hunted constantly. Like you got to be on that kind of alert level, I guess. But that's how they are constantly. Like we live in a society where I pay a lot of taxes. For that amount of money I'm paying in taxes, I want to relax. And what's the point if I can't relax because an asteroid's going to kill us, or this is going to kill us, that's going to kill us? Like, this is, I can pull this up too. Mass shootings 2016. We always hear about this, don't we? Well,
I think we're due also,
this looks recent.
Yeah, it's been, what, 3 days now?
Yeah.
13 people were injured, or we got killed and we got injured. Everybody can see.
But like we said, there was that missing trillions of dollars the other day that they mentioned from the U.S. Army. So there's something's got to be planned to cover that up, make it go
Mass
away.
shootings. That's what they're calling these, mass shootings. We have just 2 days ago, 5 people were killed. Anybody hear about that? They were
Nope.
killed in Alabama. 5 people were killed because of guns, mass shootings. Nobody heard about it?
Nope.
Well, I guess there was no agenda.
Hey, what about Bridgeport, Connecticut?
19
Plymouth
no,
Street.
those are injured.
Okay, injured, no deaths, but...
We got 2 people killed in a mass shooting. 2 people, mass shooting. How do you have 1 in a mass? All right, I guess there's injured. Okay. I guess so 1 person killed, 3 injured is a mass shooting. They call
because
it.
it was very,
So,
very, very big.
But you'd think, yeah,
Probably weighed 1,000 pounds. Who knows?
he's more big. 1,
He equates to 5 people.
2 and 2, 0 and 7 in Florida, and this is just August.
1 person. Texas. Another person.
So this website does nothing all day but
Well,
But
I
pay
would like to
attention to
view
that.
the incident right here where these 5 people were killed. Let's look at the view incident. I'm gonna go with police shot somebody. Pennsylvania sinking frame. Type victim.
And another thing we have happening also right now, which I have been
Hey.
I did look into a couple of years ago, especially, and up to last year, is these private prisons popping up all over the place,
yeah.
where it's not the government anymore; it's actually private. So, and plus they have these they make like these deals with the private owners that they have to keep them filled up to a certain 90-something% or more, obviously. And how do they do this? They do this through releasing these idiotic laws, like I was saying before, debtors' prisons and whatever. Actually, enforcing those kind of stupid things now.
This is big. This is a big deal. Are you reading this?
I can barely read. It's really, 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 really small. Let me stretch this up. Oh, there we go.
Participants. Name. Megan, age 33. Liana, age 8. Mark, age 5. Willow, age 2. Subject Mark, age 40. Looks like a family. Shot, dead, murder, suicide, child involved incident, child killed, not child shooter. Domestic violence. Are you kidding me? 1 gun involved, not stolen. So, legal gun. Whole family killed. Who the hell? So, somebody killed the whole family and then killed themselves. Pennsylvania, a few days ago, a couple weeks ago. Anybody hear about it?
Nope.
You know why? Because they weren't gay, bisexual, transgender, or any of these things. This is 2 weeks ago. That's a big deal. I didn't hear about it on the news. Why not? Because there was no gays, transsexuals, gay agenda, some other shit. See, this is another one. Let's just check out this one. This is 5 dead. A couple days ago. Participants: victim Robert, 26, victim Chelsea, 22, victim Justin, 23. Holy crap, Joseph, 26. This is one hell of a party. Shot, dead, murder, accidental suicide, mass murder, mass shooting, domestic violence. Domestic violence. Awaiting coroner report for cause of death to victim. How about bullet? One gun involved. They don't even know if it was stolen or not yet because it was only 2 days ago. Interesting. Interesting. This is really, really cool site. Very informative. Gives you news links and everything. And that don't load. It's good to check on everything, you know. Release of 5 gruesomely murdered in Citrino, including pregnant woman. Anybody hear this? Anybody? Did what's his name? Mr. Clean Cut from CIANN. CIANN. Did he go down there with the green screens? And where's the families? Shouldn't they be on Barbara Walters tomorrow or something? Why can't we have more gay clubs where they can be safe? Where is that? Where's these? Where are the families of these victims? Where's this police state? Like, come on, that's police state, right? Look, there's pictures. Wow, that's a real tearjerker for the news. Oh, he's a good guy. Look at him. And, oh, nice kids. Yep, well, we all know somebody like that. And yeah, as one hell of a homicides. So kind of a big deal. No agenda attached to this, apparently. You'd think you'd have heard about this. At least I think I would have heard about it. You know, it's 5 people dead, gun violence, and we're always saying like, oh, they want to take the guns. They want to take the guns. That's 2 right there. They could have said, you know. They could have used the dad who probably killed his whole family and then himself, and then the party that went bad. That was 5, and that's just page 1. I'm just saying, and we're still in August here. And,
Oops.
they call you too, those telemarketers are calling me. 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, and 4. Yeah. I could look all these up, and it's not going to be pretty, but... Do we only hear... We've heard of shootings with less than 20, right? In the news, go big. Nobody remembers?
Nope. So, what you're saying is that we don't know really what's going on because we don't hear about it unless it serves a purpose, right?
Did 50 die in Orlando?
I think so, at least, wasn't it?
In Orlando, Florida. View incident view source, June 12th.
I think we've seen plenty of those. Yeah, that was the only one newsworthy, I guess.
Yeah, you're going back in time.
Going back. Other than that, it's not a hell of a lot of people dying from guns. I think more people are dying from the flu. Pretty sure.
From doctors. Aren't doctors the leading cause of death?
Yeah, you mean they're dying mostly from the flu shot?
Yeah.
So,
Or the artificial diseases like Zika.
Yeah.
Here.
And that's the thing. I think I don't think, Jimmy, you were on when I was saying that I think the tactic of doing a direct frontal assault like they used to do with like welfare, where you would see used to be in the past you would see soup lines. Well, now you don't see it anymore. In the same way, you don't see the police state because we are already surveilled and we're already terrorized and we're already, you know, have all the characteristics of a police state, but it's been so subtle that we didn't, you know, most people aren't aware of it. And so that seems to be, you know, even with false flags anymore, it's like, Are they really just trying to condition us to look for some big false flag and miss the subtle thing that's happening right under our noses, you think?
It's multi-tiered actually. It's like like I said before. It's like they're pushing anger. They want to provoke, and a little bit of what you just said also.
Yeah, I just think they probably will need some giant catastrophe if they want to do something major, like they're getting impatient with the slow method. Sometimes the slow method will work better in the long term, but sometimes they need to speed things up, and that's when they do a false flag like 9/11 scale. But I think they must have the next big thing planned. The only question is how we would see it coming and what we would do about it, if anything.
You will never see it coming.
You do that too well.
Negator.
I haven't even watched in so long.
Don't do that too often.
Yeah. I see Hillbilly try to do it. I'll throw his voice.
Hillbilly on your ass.
So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what we got now. We got to start checking for that.
Yeah, we're pretty much there.
Well, then what? Now what?
Well, that's the other thing we were
Is there
thinking about
anything else
covering.
obvious that we can tell people about that's obvious?
Not really. Not that it. If you need more examples than that, it's probably not going to do you a whole lot of good.
Ah, it's my new avatar right here. Why not? If you can't beat them, be them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's creepy. That's creepy.
That probably has something to do with a gate out of here or something at the center of the earth. I don't know.
Let's talk a little of maybe of how we can, like say we have to interact with the police right now. How should we react? What's a proper way to react to a cop nowadays?
Ask guys like Issa Mael.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry,
can't start doing that.
can I speak to somebody who is the bearer of the account of this? It's just some legalese terms.
Yeah, you're just gonna piss that cop off. What do? We have to kiss butt? How do you keep dignity? How do you
Kissing
keep
in
your
the butt.
dignity? I'm talking.
That's the thing. We've already lost most of our dignity. I don't know how you could do that when you're dealing with, the cops that are dressed up like that. I mean, mute for just a second. Sorry.
Oh, are we going to a party?
Maybe the right way would be to, they're asking questions, just ask questions right back. Pretty act naive, but do it informed, like an informed naiveness.
Okay, and
I don't know.
how do we get informed? We
Yeah.
can spend $100 a minute on Black's Law or Westlaw or something like that. Maybe you can get a password from somebody you know. I used to have a password to Westlaw, and I tried to read it back in 15 years ago. It made me really want to go back to school and take Latin, because it's like it's all legal speak, Latin. It's interesting. I really couldn't learn much because it's all like the original law, like, you know what I'm saying? The original meanings of things,
Yeah, Latin being that there's only one definition to their.
Westlaw is expensive to have a password to. My girlfriend at the time had one because her father had a buddy who knew a buddy, that kind of thing.
That's a good example right there. Also, hey, why are they making this so complicated for anybody to learn law? How could you even defend yourself? Right there, it should be a warning flag. It's like, how the hell am I supposed to defend myself without having to pay? And it's like, and
Well,
that's another thing too, is you having to prove your innocence. It's one thing to prove it. No, it should be the burden is on them to prove your guilt. But no, they got us proving our innocence, which is sometimes it's almost impossible.
I
It's
think
like,
there's something to all this admiralty law, law of the land, and you cross onto their ship, and now you, as a, I can't. There's so much to it. It's not so much the free man movement, but I think that was taken and accelerated to a ridiculous level. But I think ISMIL has a lot of good info we could point people towards. Not saying like hire him to defend you or anything, but he'll definitely educate you. A lot of things he's saying people get mad at, but I remember reading that stuff too. It's out there. It's public information. It's hard to find.
oh yeah, everything's out there. They make everything available for us. They actually tell us all the time. It's one of the
that
good points
reminds
that
me
we
of
keep
something
bringing up.
I'm gonna-
So we got to be good enough to find it and see it and notice it. Gotta have the eyes to see people and the ears to hear all this. Wee.
Heard about this site yesterday. I'll share screen again. Mr. Bassano was talking
Oh.
about this. You see it?
Treasury Direct.
He says this is a very interesting site. He popped into Cathexis Hangout, I believe it was last night during his reading of King's Dethroned. And it was pretty interesting. I think it was last night's with King's Dethroned. And Isa popped in too, and they were going back and forth. It was interesting. But Robert mentioned this, and man, if anything he was saying is true, this is a game changer.
Okay.
I don't want to put in my personal information directly on it, but he said, I don't know, how can I say this? You know how they say, like, we're an account, we're a corporation, each
Yeah.
one of us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and money is a promissory note, pay on the collateral, and I don't know all the legalese speak, the collateral of the account, whatnot. Basically, like, they were talking about, like, if you commit a certain crime, like a murder, 50 million gets put into an account or something like that. Like, it's wacky. But there's an account for each one of us. And I believe it was the Roth IRA site. I don't know if it was them. It was one of those sites. You can put in that little code number on your birth certificate. And this one, you should just be able to do Social Security number or very similar. And you put in your information in, and you try to look up your account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you are the corporation, the person. And there is an account in all our names.
Uh-huh.
And supposedly, I think on this site too, you can pull up all your past accounts you've ever had. It's supposed to be very interesting. I haven't done it yet. I was just listening to this like early this morning. He did it last night. Haven't had a chance to check it out yet. But he says, yeah, people, you got to check this out. Applications and programs like the treasurydirect.gov. My accounts. See what I'm talking about? My accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Treasury securities programs. We're all in here. And it may even be possible to request some of the funds from the account that's in your name. You understand what I'm saying? The implications are that he's saying, if this is true.
Yeah.
Some people have millions in there. And you ever hear of a charge off? Can we charge off this account, Your Honor? Or something like that? You basically the crime that you committed or whatnot, or the policy violation. I think you can charge off and pay off through this account that's in our names that the government puts money into.
You could do it here, especially if you get one of those. Here in Canada, we have what's called a remittance slip. I think you guys have that too, but it's most likely different. But here, there's a little 96, like just in the middle of nowhere on the thing, and they always want you to send that in. And all you typically have to do, that's like already the payment. That's the payment itself. You're setting off the payment. But what they want you to do is attach a check to it, which you shouldn't have to. You just have to send the remittance with your signature on it, in all caps.
Remittance, and what does that do?
It's supposed to be the actual. They say it's a bill, but it's not a bill. It's the actual payment. It's actually a check. But they want you to send it to them with a check stapled to it or whatever, affixed to it or whatever, along with it. So they're actually charging twice for something they shouldn't be charging once, like say hydro, because they're actually using public water to make the electricity. Technically it was supposed to be there to help us out. They weren't supposed to charge us for it. They were supposed to charge the corporations for it, not the public. But they tricked us in that one also. Like they tricked us with the driver's licenses. It's only supposed to be good for the people actually using the roads to work on. Taxi drivers, truck drivers, delivery people, the mail,
Well, we're not reading everything correctly. They set up the system in a way where the bright people, I guess you'd call it bright, like they're so bright they shine, kind of the brightest people can figure it out, because everybody is sitting there going, this doesn't seem fair, this doesn't seem fair, this doesn't seem fair. I didn't agree to that law, I didn't agree to that policy, I didn't agree to all that. I think these are contractual things. Do you realize you ran this stop sign going this fast and you didn't do a left turn? I'd be like, that's nice. Is there any victims, and who did I make this contract with that if I did any of those things I was going to have to pay? Or is that part of the license agreement and we're subject to all that? Like, there's lots of little things like that. You can claim to show cause, you claim to show victim. I don't know all the legal speak. I am not good at legalese speak anymore. And I took criminal justice in school and law. That was like a lifetime ago. UFOs in space and all this stuff, and I can't remember my legalese, but there's some good info out there, and it's a game. It really is a game. Isamael talks about that all the time. It's a game. You need to speak their speak, and that's it. It's just a game. Now, if Robert Bassano is telling the truth with this, he says he's tried this. He said he had one account that had like $500,000 in it. And he tried to get it, I think, transferred to another bank account, and that bank account said, "Yeah, don't ever call us again." Something like that, kind of funny to try. Somebody wants to transfer 500 million or whatever. I think it was 500 million, not $500,000, 500 million. 500 million into a checking account or something. It's going to be a little suspicious.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know all the. It's in Cathexis. Hangout that he did. When he's reading it, he took breaks in between. And Robert jumped in towards the end, middle maybe, or towards the end. And individuals. So we do an individually, click on my accounts. There's more Treasury Direct. Okay. You can buy Treasury securities. Basically, well, you just want to kind of inquire about yourself, see if you're in here. There's another website too for looking up if there is any outstanding monies due to you. And that's another treasury site that I can't remember right now, but I looked that one up too, and I thought I found like $100 or something somewhere.
Yeah, I remember that too. They used to. Actually, I think it's still a practiced thing where old bank accounts that people forgot about years and years. Let's say you had a joint account, somebody died or whatever. Well, you're actually allowed to have that money and all that. Any interest if there has been any.
Well, this may be a resource to check on what's going on with our we are a corporation. You'd think we'd be making money, with all the work we do. I gotta go re-listen to it to find out exactly where to go through this. A lot of people might know what they're doing with this. I do not. I have to go over it again. But Robert didn't go into too many details. It's almost like he was giving away a big secret. I would like to know how some people get their money though, when it's impossible to just pay the basics for just about all of us. What, somebody gets a good job and they're all of a sudden like super rich? As far as I know, every single person I know, the more you make, the more you spend.
Yeah.
And you still end up at zero. You know what I'm saying? Like, but some individuals just explode out of nowhere.
Yep. And those are the ones that are actually taken on, let's just say, under the wings, because they denote the right attitudes. Like, they don't mind stepping on other people. They don't mind going along with the whole thing, you know?
I
So
don't know. Well, no, I don't know if it's that. I'm not really sure what it's about. My head is just so full of stuff I've been watching all weekend. Still processing. Anything happen over the weekend? Any exciting news in Flat Earth besides no oxygen existing?
Well, there was no tree stumps on the weekend, so that's gone. Not much, really. I can't think of anything. Can you, Paula?
Nope, not any major theory breakthroughs or anything like that.
Yeah, I saw GeoShifter's video. No oxygen. Well, what he was basically saying was and I remember this too, we've something like 21% oxygen, 21% oxygen that we have on Earth. And I remember watching old experiments where they would take goldfish and they would just create, the bio environment for it. There was about 10% or so, 15% more oxygen than normal. And they had, two control groups. The other one was regular goldfish, and this was the extra oxygen goldfish. And by the end of it, it looked like something out of Jurassic Park, this goldfish. It was a monster goldfish. It was just a monster. It was like Tyranna goldfish. It was something ridiculous, a goldfishosaurus. And it was just the additional oxygen. And there's a little bit of mention of that in GeoShifter's video. So what, do you think we're suffering from lack of oxygen? You think police maybe are suffering from lack of oxygen?
I'm thinking, of course, we were most likely a lot taller than we are now. It makes sense if you look at all those old ancient monoliths, those ancient cities, whatever. A lot of them pretty darn big, Like, why were those doors so big? Why would they make them that big?
The doors are big. They're giant pyramids that are underwater. They didn't build them underwater, so they built them before there was this water. There's been this amount of water for a good long time, as far as I know. But what do I know? I know what I've been told.
And with more oxygen, well, taller people, more intelligence.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, the more oxygen you have going to your brain, and obviously the more aware you're going to be, the more obviously you're going to be more. How can I say? Yeah, more aware, more healthy.
Oxygen therapy. That's another big one that helps a lot of people. Like, we need oxygen. Okay? I've been saying that for a long time. We are very oxygen deficient. Oxygen will heal. Oxygen does many things. There's lots of things that you can do to oxygenate your cells. One of them I heard from a naturopath was food-grade hydrogen peroxide diluted to 3%. And he says that'll oxygenate your cells really good. If we had the giant trees and all that, and they're gone, so is our oxygen. one large tree, they say, well, it's in GeoShifter's video, how much oxygen that one tree produces. And he also says in the video that they tell us that plants, they give off oxygen and we give off carbon dioxide as a byproduct from oxygen, but plants also require oxygen, because if you didn't have any oxygen, you wouldn't have any plants. No?
Yeah.
You just have
Yeah.
all carbon dioxide. Do you think your plant would live?
No.
No, it wouldn't. So they need oxygen too, apparently.
They create
And if
it,
our
but they
oxygen is getting
also
lower and lower. Our plants are not getting any better. We're not getting any. We seem to be like in a symbiotic. We're all feeling like shit with the plant life in a lot of areas. Is that the Wi-Fi? Is that the electromagnetic soup?
Yep.
Is that just lack of oxygen? Did we spring a leak in our little yellow submarine that we have here underwater, or whatever we are?
I'm telling you, I'd love to spend a week with a multi-billion, like a billionaire, like one of the higher ups. Just spend a week and see his habits. What he actually eats, where he goes, just to see how they're protecting themselves.
The billionaire?
Well, you know,
They probably give themselves oxygen therapy. Like they're taking care of themselves. They have a
Yeah.
rejuvenation thing. They're probably drinking the chocolate shakes, magic shakes.
the finest food on earth. They got their food pushers because they can afford it.
We're missing some information. We're definitely missing information.
Used to make me wonder also when you know, in the movies back then, is it true? Is it not? I don't know. You know when they'd show like a fancy restaurant and then they'd show the plate that they give you, like it's like 2 bites. Like, wait a minute, really? Rich people eat 2 bites? Well, it makes you wonder what's in those 2 bites. Enough vitamins to keep you going for the whole day. Who knows?
Yeah, I never thought of that. Is that just like pure concentrated mini pieces of corn and food? Like, what is it?
You know, maybe there's something in there that's like their antidote to all this crap. You know, it's like, oh, here's your antidote, $150, please.
I don't know about antidote, but maybe it's concentrated superfood, like
Yeah.
like the half elves used to eat in The Hobbit. They would eat this small little morsel of food, and that was good enough for like 3 days or something.
Like cannabis seeds. All the proteins, everything's in there. All you can live just off seeds. If you really had to. And it goes to wonder if the whole Bible thing, when they're saying 30 days, what was it? 30 years in the desert?
40.
40?
Yeah.
And they were just eating manna? Well, what if it was like weed?
Probably not.
Why not?
Well, it was food they ate, and it doesn't say what it was made of. It said it tasted kind of like honey.
Oh,
So that would kind of rule that out, I would think.
yeah, it would. 'Cause that definitely doesn't taste like honey. Yeah, we got 8 minutes to go, and I set it for 2 hours, so it will shut down. I think.
How much time is left?
About 8 minutes.
I have no new police news to share besides the Massachusetts gun ban. That isn't a gun ban. People want to say it is. You know,
Here's a good time to talk about you and Crow. What's coming up with you and Crow?
oh, I haven't talked to him, but I believe he's got a show this Wednesday. I believe it's going to be Validation Boy. He's going to have on, and we're looking at asking for some other big names to come on, but it's not about big names. It's about people. It's about, I guess you want to call it like the human side of us. And I don't know. I you know, this is Crow's baby, and I'm helping him out as long as he will accept me around. And it's fun. It's fun. Crow's a smart guy.
Anything else? You personally?
Me? Oh, I'm working on the project I've been working on for a long time. I got some extra help though from Lady Ganja and Isamael. They finally completed a favor I asked for of them to help out with it, and I'm going to be working on that. And I'm going to start rapid firing those videos once they start. But it was a matter of a format thing. I went like 5, 6 different times. I changed it around. My friend John has got a new video on Taboo Conspiracy. Pretty good one. He's talking about the sun and 24-hour sun on it. That was a pretty good one. Did you see that one, Paula?
Yeah, I did.
I'm
He's
not
getting better at editing too.
Huh?
He's getting better at editing.
Yeah.
What about anybody else?
Me this week. I got Ishra. Ishra. People know Ishra. He's gonna be starting a French hangout. Totally French. I'm gonna be on there. We're gonna have a couple other guests. I'm trying to see if I can get Nenki on, which I'm gonna be talking to him after. So I can't tell you exactly when, but it should be this week. So if anybody likes, French, obviously there's people out there that are French. Anybody in not like actually chatting right now, but yeah.
Isn't there a French Flat Earth channel, or is that Italian? I can't.
Well, there is a French one, but there's no hangouts per se on it. And what the Truman Show is doing, it's not really a hangout type thing. It's more of interviews and stuff. So we need like a hangout. Like we're doing, not right now, but like a Larry's hangout, but just French. See what I mean?
You did that one the other day, didn't you?
Well, no. See, that was me French with English. Is I was like, no, we're gonna do it like just French. That's it. Well, he's gonna do it just French, and I'm gonna be there when he's there.
Doing the Franglish.
Just French, because we want to reach a lot of the Quebecers, because there's a lot of them that just have nowhere to go, and they really don't understand the English very much, or they don't, so they want a platform to go on, because the French channel, Taille Québec, La Terre Plate Québec, is it's really good. A lot of chats on there, but people want the live stuff, like we're doing. So I'm going to dedicate a little bit of time for that also, since I live here,
Are you 100% fluent?
Oh, man, well, yeah, you can't tell the difference either way.
Well, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to have a French Flat Earth something.
Oh, yeah, and especially Nenki, he's actually pretty good. I actually watched one of his interviews that he did on the 9th of August today, 2-hour interview in French, and it was, wow, it was spot on. All the things that I've been researching for the past years. It wasn't just about the flat Earth. It's just mostly about that, but a lot of it was, the whole NASA thing, the whole going to the moon, the way the structure is going right now. The system that we have imprisoning us. The whole thing. He's all up on it, and he's got some new interesting stuff coming out real soon that I'm probably going to be bringing out in English also, so look out for that. And maybe he'll do an English show with me eventually, because he can speak both, so I'll see about that one also. Yep. And over to Paula. I died.
No, nothing really planned right now of like I do much of that anyway, but
Plug your Bible thing. Which day is it of the week, so people that aren't aware, they'll be aware now.
well, I had been doing it on Monday mornings, but last week I did it on Tuesday, and this Monday, today, I just had too many other things going on, and I wasn't prepared anyhow. So sometimes I just can't think of something to write about, so I'll have to work on that and just put it out when I come up with something.
Well, there you have it, folks. Nothing planned.
No.
But stay tuned.
just subscribe. Like everybody says in every video, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Why? Because if you subscribe, you can get the news better that way. Is it a question of being popular? Sure it is. Of course you want to be popular. Why? Because that's how you get your message out. If you're not popular at all, you're not going to get nothing out. Yeah?
No point in talking to the wall.
Exactly. It's not a question of being popular to be, oh, look at me, look at me. No, no. Popular in the sense is like, oh, geez, at least people are listening to me. At least it feels like I feel like it's worth it to do. In other words, you know, nobody listens. Like, is it really worth it to do? You become discouraged. You know,
Right.
it's not to say you have to worship the person, but it's to say, hey, like what you're saying, like what you're doing, keep it up. That's what it should be all about. Not, oh, you're the greatest. Oh man, you're the best. No, it's not that. And if it becomes that, then that's when the information all gets skewed and all over the place, you know?
Well, I'm all set then.
Hmm?
Oh, no one's ever gonna say those kind of compliments to me.
Yeah, that's how it is. So sorry, folks. In about 1 minute, it's gonna go off air because I set it for 2 hours, which is for a show. I think it's kind of long enough. Like otherwise, you just like trying to find
Fillers.
Yeah,
It felt like
fillers.
100 years to me, actually. Very
Huh?
long. It was very long. It felt like 100 years just went by.
Sometimes for me, it's weird. It depends on the day. It actually went pretty quick this day, for some reason. For me, see, it all depends on the perspective. Poor Jibby, it took him a long time. It feels long for him. How about you now?
Yes, yes, it was very long.
You gotta quit smoking those things, man.
I don't know what you mean.
Good. You sound like Marge from The Simpsons.
Oh, homie.
Nice cigarette there, Marge.
Now you're Yoda.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Smoke, good smoke for you.
Always in on a strong note, right?
Yes, and on a funny note. Yay. Alright, so folks, I'm sure there's going to be Larry, are you going to be on after? I'm asking you right now, since I just seen you message.
Nap time, is it?
Snap time?
Nap time with Larry.
Snap time.
Nap
Nap
time.
time, lap time. Daytime. Nap.
No.
Nap time. Sleep time. Larry.
Sexy. Cricket.
He must have left already.
He went to go
Cricket.
charge up his guns. He's gonna start firing melatonin.
Damn it, yes, he's going to do one.
Oh, he is?
All right.
Damn it,
Cool.
yes. Okay.
Alright, so everybody, catch y'all on the other side of whatever. Alright, catch you later,
Alright.
guys.
Bye.
And